Part one on how my best friend, baby daddy, unalived her and her family in her home about 20 years ago. First, I'm going to give some disclosures. I am super camera shy, so just bear with me. I don't typically record, but I got to get this story out. It's been 20 years. I've been harboring it. It was the most traumatic thing in my life that I had to deal with. Um, I was only 17 at the time, and it's very traumatic. Okay, let's go back to 2003. Yeah, I think it's 2003. Bear with me on time, and I'm only telling. Yeah, let me say this. I'm only telling this story from my perspective, from my view, from my experience, what I seen with my own eyes, heard with my own ears. So I just want everybody to know that. So I'm not saying that it is or it ain't. I'm just telling you what my experience was. Everybody knows me and Cynthia were like this. Where you seen one, you seen the other. Just like this. So I'm just saying from my point of view and what I've experienced. Now, again, this has been 20 years. My memory is horrible, but I remember certain things like it was yesterday. Like I can still feel certain things like it was yesterday. So please forgive me if my timing is off, if somebody else knows more than what I know or whatever the case may be. Please don't be in my comments like I don't know what I'm talking about. It's been 20 years. Please. So I can't really remember how her and her baby daddy relationship first started off, but I do remember like when it started, like the when she started showing her pregnancy, like during her pregnancy and stuff like that, like the attitudes changed. Like he was all in her face prior to her being pregnant, but it's like when she got pregnant, things went left. So by things going left, Cynthia is heartbroken. Like she wanted their relationship. She wanted what they had prior to her being pregnant. That's all she used to keep. She used to kept saying that like why he treat me like this now, and then she just go back and forth with showing me pictures of them for I think they went to a prom or something or another. Like so she was like obsessing on their relationship prior to when she got pregnant. So of course, me, as I'm her friend, I'm telling her, don't worry about it. You'll get through it. Don't worry about it. Don't let him, bother you or upset you because he not answering his phone. Like, stop calling his phone. Like, why you always gotta be around him? Like, she used to always like trying to be what he be at. Like, I was so over it. I'm like, Cynthia, like he clearly don't be wanting to be bothered. Like, he clearly didn't want to be bothered with her when she was pregnant. But just like any other baby daddy and baby mama, they was like kind of toxic. Like in public eye, like Cyrus used to just like, oh, I didn't even want to say his name. Anyways, but Cyrus didn't want to really be around her in public. So like he'll talk to her after school or something on the phone, or he'll see her after school when she at my grandma's house with me or something like that. Um, then like hold on. But then when she started getting bigger, that's when it really got bad. Like that's when it really got bad. She started trying to hide her pregnancy. Like she did not want to look pregnant at all because I don't know if they came up with something between the two of them to for her to get an abortion or what. But Miss Ma'am was doing everything in her willpower to like not be pregnant. Like she really was. And I'm like, I tried so much to try to stop her from doing like certain things. Like, I mean, the girl would try to jump over stuff, run. This girl used to jump fences. all type of things. In school, she'll wear extra clothes, extra jackets, and then the worst thing is, the worst part about it all is that she used to tape her stomach. That was the hardest thing I had to watch her do because, like, she was adamant about it. She used to duct tape her stomach. Like, I'm talking about from right up under here. Like, I mean, she'll wrap it, baby be in a pouch like this at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? That was and this is not to bash her, but she was, and what a lot of people didn't know is Cynthia was 15 at the time. She wasn't 16. She always lied about her age because of this situation, but Cynthia was 15 years old. And so I'm steady telling her stop doing that. She asked me not to tell my mama, but it had got to a point where I'm just like, her belly getting bigger and she's steady wrapping her stomach to please this nigga. I'm like, cause he don't want to talk to her in public, especially if she looking pregnant. So he not trying to see her. Plus, he was that typical high school dude. Like, he wanted to be with his friends. He wanted to go to college for basketball. He just used to be that popular kid in his friend group. So Cynthia being pregnant, I don't think none of his friends at the time had kids. They were all on the basketball team. They was like popular group in the high school. And you heard me say Cynthia was actually 15 years old. I believe Cyrus at the time was 17. So I can see how that could be scary for him. Whatever. Anyways, um, yeah, so he probably would have been the first one in his friend group with a child, and he trying to go play basketball, and he had all this shit going on. So yeah, he was dissing my girl to the left, and I wasn't surprised at all. So now Cynthia is getting too big because and then on top of that, she really didn't want to show because she hadn't even told her mama yet. Wait, I take that back. I think she told her mom that she was pregnant, but I think I can't remember if she told her mom that she was pregnant and her mom put her out and she was living with her godmother. Well, eventually that situation didn't work out either, so she started living with me, going to school with me every day by my grandmother and by my mama house. She had her own room and everything. So at this point, my mama is involved and she is monitoring her to make sure she not binding her stomach up, and she just kind of trying to feed affirmations into her and try to build her spirit up and telling her how she gonna be a good mama and just prepping her, taking her to go get her food stamps, her Medicaid, and that's what my mom did. So once we got her set up with that, she feeling a little bit better. She pulling herself together, and she's trying to accept her pregnancy at this point. So as time go by, my mama just feel like it's best for her to be with her mama. Not because there was any problem. She just feel like this is Cynthia's first baby. She just feel like she need to be with her mama. So she was like, well, maybe I'm going to try to go talk. So, because my mama not trying to take the place of her mama. So she was just like, I'm going to go try to talk to her and see if I can get Cynthia back home with her mama. Because this baby about to come soon and she should be with her mom. So we go over there, me, her, and my mama. We go by Miss Janice, which is her mom. And baby, it went down. Her and my mama got into it so bad. They got into it so bad. But come back for part two. Come back for part two. Okay, part two on how my best friend baby daddy unalived her and her family. So like I said, we pull up at her mama house. Sit not wanting to go upstairs because she already know like her mama be on 10. So she was like, I don't want to go up there. My mom was like, you got to go up there because I can't just go up there. So, she finally went up there, whatever. She was a few minutes. And then for whatever reason, like, she came downstairs, like fussing with my mama or whatever. And mom was like, what you fussing with me for? I've been taking care of her and making sure she's straight. So not downplaying her mama, but her mama was just in her feels at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like she was just a bad mama. It's just like she just was in her feels about Cynthia being pregnant or whatever. And so like my mom was basically just trying to tell her like, yeah, I understand you feel how you feel, but at the end of the day, it's your daughter, it doesn't matter, she still belongs to you. You can't just like, just have her out here. I've been taking care of her, making sure she makes her doctor's appointments and all this different stuff here. I just feel like, by this being her first baby, she need to be at home with her mom so her mom could help her and nurture her. I don't want to take that away, type shit. So eventually her mama calmed down and they had a conversation or whatever. When when we left, we still left with Cynthia because her mama still was a little uneasy, but eventually she came around and she came pick Cynthia up. At this point, I want to say we are weeks away from her going in, or I want to say at least a month away from Cynthia going in to have this baby at this point. So she getting settled in with her mama and everything. I'm still going to school. She goes into labor while I'm at school. I remember I was taking an exam and I don't know if she texted me or once I got home and I got a phone call. I can't remember how it happened, but I found out that she was in the hospital. So let's backtrack. So in between that time, like while she still was pregnant, like every blue moon she would hear from her baby daddy. Like, she'll talk to him every blue moon. Of course, it's always about denial. It was the whole time, it was basically the whole pregnancy, it was basically always denial, or he didn't want the baby, or whatever the case may be. Basically, the whole entire pregnancy. Um, Sometimes it was mild and sometimes it was just bad. Like, sometimes it was just okay, their conversations, but sometimes it just was bad because, yeah, they just couldn't get along. Okay, so she has the baby. She goes unlisted. She let me know what room she was in and all that stuff like that. But she goes unlisted for the hospital. Nobody can call her, look her up. She tell them take the baby out the window. She do not want her baby to be seen or whatever. She don't want them to kind of come up there and see the baby. So she was doing a no contact thing for a while. I don't know. I can't remember everything was is foggy about like the in between, if they had conversation about the baby or whatever the case may be. But eventually he started, they started coming around, I guess, like, his mama. And the only reason why I mention his mama is because that's the only one that I remember in this whole situation. Like, it was always his mama or him. So um yeah, hold on. Yeah, so somehow, phones wasn't fancy back then. I don't know how, but we lost contact for about 6 months. So I don't know what was happening in between that time. Like, I don't know what happened. So when I finally got back in touch with her, I found out that she was working at Taco Bell in Harvey on Manhattan. So I got my car and I'm like, oh yeah, I just found out I was pregnant. So like I just found out I was pregnant with my oldest one. So I'm like, okay, bet. So I pull up at Taco Bell. I'm ecstatic to see her because it's been 6 months. I'm like, where's the baby? I want to see my godchild. Where she at? Type stuff. So like, I pull up at Taco Bell and she seen me and like I can literally I can see the headphones, like the headphones on her head, the headset, I can see her running from around the corner to come hug me a little bit. Y'all know Cynthia was little. I just seen, she just came running around the corner to come and see me, and when I told her that I was pregnant, that girl screamed so loud. Her boss was like, Cynthia, Cynthia. So yeah, she was trying to catch me up on a couple of things, you know what I'm saying, telling me about the baby and, things like that, that he, bought some things for her or whatever. I thought everything was coming along, I was like, well, I need to come and see that baby. I need to come and get the baby or something. She was like, yeah, you can take her, you can babysit her sometime. I'm like, cool, yeah, that's what I want to do. That's my godchild. So yeah, of course I want to see her. And then she told me, well, she was going by Cyrus. You would probably have to pick her up from over there. I was like, I gave her an ugly look. I'm like, she was like, yeah, 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 I know. I'm surprised too. But when I told her that I was pregnant, that girl was too excited. She just knew, because that was going to be her godchild. That was definitely Malik was going to be her godchild. So she was super excited. So we exchanged numbers and stuff like that. And we went our separate ways. Well, so when we went our separate ways, this incident happened, I want to say, after seeing her at Taco Bell. This situation happened maybe, I want to say, a month or two after I seen her at Taco Bell. So I'm in school, and a couple of my friends, because I'm going to get my GED at this point because I'm pregnant with my oldest one at the time. So I'm in school, and my two friends pull up. Like, I didn't know that they were pulling up. They didn't text me. Nobody didn't call me and tell me anything or whatever. So they pulled up, and I guess they told the office that I had a emergency or family emergency or whatever. So when they came to get me out the classroom, they was like, you need to go. So I'm getting up, like, I'm just going to run to the office right quick. They was like, no, you need to get your things. You're not coming back. And I'm like, what do you mean? Okay, so they're like, I'm like, what do you mean? They was like, just grab your things or whatever. So I'm like, okay. So you gotta know it's a long walk to the front at this point. Like my heart racing, like I can almost feel it racing the way it was right now. And so like I'm walking down the hallway and I see my two friends and I'm like, what the hell y'all doing here getting me out of class? Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? So they said, come on, but I'm still a little stagnant because as I'm walking down the hall, I'm automatically thinking, oh shit, something got to be wrong with my mama or something. So they take me outside to the steps, like, and I remember this day so vividly. Like, I remember when my friend parked at. I remember one of my friends were in the car, went and got in the car, and the other one was like right there, like kind of telling me the news. I think I don't know. I don't know why my friend was sitting in the car. I don't know what happened, but anyways, she was sitting in the car, and that's when she told me. She was like, "You didn't see?" I was like, "See what?" I was like, "You didn't see?" And she dragged it out. I'm like, "See what? What's going on? What's going on?" And she was like, Cynthia and the baby are at the hospital. I'm like, "What?" Cynthia and the baby. I said, "What's wrong with them? Let's go to the hospital. What we waiting for? What's going on?" She was like, "No." I was like, "What you mean, no? What's going on?" Part three. Okay, let me try to do part three right quick before I get ready to go. I'm about to go somewhere. But anyways, so once they telling me, they like, you ain't here, it's been all over the news. Like, I'm like, news, like, wait, whoa, hold up. Like, that means it must be something serious or whatever. So the details hadn't came out. It was just freshly on the news. So I'm like rushing to my house. They dropping me off. They dropped me off at the house. I turn on the news and I see that it's not just her that's injured. It's the baby. It's her mama. It's her brothers. I'm like, what is going on? So they still collecting details. They saying the house was set on fire. At this time, I still don't know what the details are. Like, I didn't even know it Cynthia. I can't remember in that moment if I found out she was dead or if she was just at the hospital, because so much was just going on. So much was going on. I didn't know what was going on. But when I found out that they said that he stabbed her to death, poked her to death, like, I flashed. Like, I didn't know what was going on. It still didn't get no details. Still haven't came up with all the details. Okay, I'm gonna give a warning. Some of these details may be a little graphic for some people. Some is nothing, but so when I did finally get the details, I found out that my best friend had been stabbed 21 times. And I'm like, okay, where's the baby with all this? Like, the baby was sitting on the sofa. This is the details that I'm getting. The baby was sitting on the sofa. Cynthia was by the front door, kind of by the stairs somewhere. Her mom was in her bedroom or in the bedroom of the boys, of her little brothers. Okay, so from what I remember, when Miss Janice heard all the chaos and knew what was going on, she tried to hurry up and hide her youngest son in a closet. She put him in a closet. The other one, I forgot what his name was. I forgot what her brother name was, but one of them, he was stabbed. Miss Janice was stabbed, if I'm not mistaken, in her hand, she got stabbed a couple times. She got poked a couple of times. I can't remember, but so what the story is that, from what I was told, that they had an argument or whatever, and the way the doors was set up, like they only had like the deadbolt. Like you couldn't just close the door. You had to keep the key in it and lock the deadbolt on the door. So it was allegedly Cynthia was doing his hair. They had some sort of argument or whatever. Child support was mentioned. And then the next thing you know, everything went bad. Cynthia was the first person to get poked. And what was the devastating part about that was that she was poked 21 times, but she was gone after poke number 2. Her left lung collapsed and it was over with after that. And he just sat up there and just kept. For the longest, I couldn't wrap that around my head. Like when the detective told me that she was gone after the second poke, I'm like, you just sat up there and mutilated her body. You mutilated her. And then on top of that, like, and so then that's when you can see her, they say you can see her struggling. Her handprints was coming down the wall of the stairwells. Hold on one second. Then he went upstairs and poked Miss Janice a couple times, then poked her little brother, and then and he came back downstairs, grabbed the trash can out the kitchen, set it on fire. The baby wasn't stabbed, wasn't poked. She was untouched. She just suffocated right there on the sofa or on the bed. I'm not sure. I heard it was on the bed. I heard it was on the sofa, but I believe it was the sofa. And he took the keys and left back out the house. Or I don't know how, whatever happened. That's the part that I'm unclear about, but it was said that he left the apartment, locked the deadbolt, and left. So now at this point, I'm really grieving. I'm finding out. Yeah, so I'm learning that everybody in the house then passed away, except for her little brother, the youngest one that was hid in the closet. And reason being is because when the fire department came, he was afraid to jump out the window. Like, he was terrified. They tried everything. Like, they were literally trying everything to try to get him out that window. But he was terrified. I believe, uh, um, I believe that a firefighter came and went up and got him. Actually, I don't know if he jumped or they actually came and got him. I can't remember. So either way, so they finally got him down. He was the only survivor. So at this point, now I'm like grieving so bad and trying to just trying to put things together, get all the details and all this crap going. Then the rumors start. The rumors saying that there was rumors saying that she was pregnant. That wasn't proven. Um, I'm not sure. I can't remember that far. It was mentioned that they said that she was pregnant, but I don't know how true that was, and I don't believe that she actually was pregnant. They said that she was pregnant for somebody else, and that's what he was mad about. I don't believe, according to her family, that wasn't the truth either. Um, he also went back to the crime scene. So in the midst, I'm getting his details now. Like I said, I'm starting to get details now. I find out that he went back to the scene. He was questioned at the scene because then he was like, "Oh, I heard about it, and I was coming to get my baby." Police, you wasn't even much on Sayana like that. Like, you wasn't even much checking for her for real. I mean, yeah, that was your daughter, but at the same time, he really wasn't, like, he wasn't acting for real like that. For him to be saying like, "Oh, I'm coming back to come and get my daughter." So he was questioned immediately at the scene, and I believe that he was released. At the time, so of course, they had to do the funeral. Investigation was still going. That process was still going. Now, mind you, once, like, when it came to the funeral, that was so hard. That was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. Like, to see 4 caskets up there. I believe it, Miss Janice, Cleveland, Cynthia. It was 3 caskets. It was 3 caskets. The baby was in the casket with Cynthia. Oh my God. Looks like I'm going to a part 4. Okay, y'all. Part 4 of how my best friend, baby daddy, unalived her and her family. Okay, I'm gonna try. I think I'm being delusional saying that I'm going to sum this up in this in this video right here, but I think it's probably going to be about 2 more parts. So bear with me, y'all. So, all right, we at the funeral. So the funeral is so packed.
Like, I don't even make it there in time to like view them. They close the casket. And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm already devastated because of that. I didn't get my last view. And so I'm sitting there. I'm just like trying to take this on, and I'm taking it so bad. Like, I'm taking it so bad. And like after the funeral, like I just got in my car and I just rode around Gretna. Just like I just couldn't, like, I don't know. I don't know why, but I just kept riding around just listening to Lil Wayne. Damn, I miss my dog. Like I just played that over and over and over and over and over. It's like I was obsessing, and I had to just like go home. Like I was, mind you, I'm pregnant still. I'm like 3 months pregnant. So I'm crying, I'm crying, I'm crying. And then I started spotting. Not the same day, I think it was like the next day. I go to the hospital. They telling me I need to, you know, get on bed rest because like I'm threatening a miscarriage. I really need to, my stress levels is really high. You can only imagine dealing with this hormonal and looking at 4 lives lost right here. Like the way that they went out. It was rough. It was rough. That's all I can say. It was rough for me, bro. Okay, so now the funeral is over. It's time for us to try to start trying to heal anyways, and trying to get justice for her. And like I said, they had so many rumors going on about there was a girl that was living with her. Um yes, the girl was questioned. They said that the girl was helping him out, like texting him and giving him like details on what they how to do it, and she is assisted him. Now, to my knowledge, when we was going through the court case, she was cleared. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about a girl. Like I said, we got back in contact. I didn't know what she was having going on in her household, basically. So we was talking, but not to the point where I knew if she had somebody living with her or not. Okay, so, but there was a girl, questioned. I'm not going to say her name, but there was a girl that was questioned. But again, she was cleared. For whatever reason. I mean, the whole case was just, it was just crazy. It was crazy. So, we really didn't get to court. Like, we was back and forth with DA and all this, and so it's time for us to go to court. I was shocked that we was actually going to go to court at this particular time, because this is right before Katrina. This is like, I mean, days before Katrina. They was talking about evacuation. So I'm thinking August, like the 26th, 27th, something like that, around that time. That's how close it was. They was prepping for evacuations. So we still went on with court. I'm in wherever, in the audience, wherever they call that part. So I'm in the audience, and here he come walking through. First of all, I was shocked at what I seen. And a lot of people not gonna believe me when I tell y'all this. Y'all homie looked at a little, ponytails in his hair. And he took the material from his clothing, and he had ribbon. It was hanging. Yes, sir. And I remember it like it was yesterday when he walked in. He had the shackles on, and he had some blue Chuck Taylors on with that orange jumpsuit. And like I said, his hair was in like little ponytails. And like I'm shaking thinking about it because like, oh my God, I remember like I feel it like when I'm in court with him, like he comes sit down in his little, at the table with his defense lawyer. Hold on, because I'm shaking right quick. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm reliving this. I'm reliving this. So, like I said, it's me and my mama. We sitting in the audience, like as he coming through, she like clutching me a little bit, cause she knows how angry I am. She's just like clutching me, trying to keep me calm. And so as he coming through, like, I'm just mean mugging him, and I'm like looking him dead in his eyes as he walking through, coming to sit down, and he's staring back at me, and he got this smirk on his face, that little sarcastic. If you know him, he got that little, cause he always smiling sarcastically, like um. So he just like staring at me, smirking at me. And I'm just like, my legs just shaking, just shaking. He just staring to his, till he turn around. Like, I'm not about to stop looking at you dead in your eyes, because I'm not going to curse, because I know people watching me. But boy, boy, oh my God. Like, the things that I want to say, the things that I wanted to say, like, boy, like, the nerve of you to come out here in this courtroom after doing what you did and smirk in my face. I wanted to jump over the table. I wanted to jump over the table. Well, anyways, so it went into continuance. Like, of course, it went into continuance because Katrina was coming. So then Katrina came, and like, I think maybe 2000, I want to say 8, if I'm not mistaken, or 2007. I can't remember. 2000, I don't know. One of those years. When we came back from Katrina, I went to the movies, and I'm getting the phone calls back to back to back. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? Of course, I didn't get the news. I'm always late to the news. They tell me he done been acquitted. Acquitted? We didn't even much get the chance to go back to court. Like, what is going on? Wait, backtrack again. I think we went to court one time prior to the acquittal, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, it's foggy. I can't remember. I think we went to court one time. And then the next thing you know, they said, somebody was like, they acquitted him. And I'm like, I know you lying. Like, no, they didn't. We got to go to court, such and such and such. And they was like, no, look on the news, or just look. So I went and I looked, and they said this boy done got acquitted. I was mortified, like floored, literally floored. But there's a twist. Come back for part, I think we on 5. Here we are, part 5 of how my best friend baby daddy unalived her whole family and her. Yeah, so they acquitted him. Now, mind you, it's as I'm telling this story, it's coming back to me. I'm like, oh, you forgot this part. Okay, yeah. So before the acquittal, he was trying to get the case dismissed because they didn't actually question him on the scene. What they did was they brought him to the bureau. They questioned him there. And then I don't know if they, I don't believe he confessed there. Did he confess then? I can't remember. I'm not sure. Ugh. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, I do remember him being questioned. I remember, him trying to get acquitted, not acquitted, the case dismissed, saying that they didn't Mirandarize him. Or he tried to say that they tried to force him into a confession or what have you. So I'm thinking, I don't think he was released. I think he was picked up and that was it. And that's when they questioned him. That little part is confusing to me. I can't remember. But anywho, that didn't work out for him. But the reason why he got acquitted is because they could not find the murder weapon. They said it wasn't enough evidence for the pokings. You know, because I don't believe they had any evidence, or I believe they said some evidence maybe was destroyed in Katrina, because the record room did get damaged. I'm not sure. But hold on one second. I'm having a memory lapse. Hold on one second. Okay, so I remember. Okay, so he got acquitted, saying lack of evidence or whatever. Um, of course, like I said, I was mortified. But so he got out. He got out. He moved to Texas. Um, I remember him getting on Facebook. I remember seeing sending him a message on Facebook. Um, I don't believe he responded, or if I can't remember if he responded or not. I can't remember that part either. But eventually the feds picked it up. The reason why the feds picked it up, because um allegedly when he left that crime scene, he went changed his clothes. His clothes had some sort of lighter fluid, some sort of gasoline or something on his clothes that was in someone's neighbor's in a neighbor's yard in our neighborhood. I won't say whose yard it was in, but supposedly it was inside of a cooler inside of somebody else's yard. So that's where the feds pick up, because now they got you on arson. And he got away with, I want to say he got away with, no, he technically didn't get away with Cynthia's death, but they didn't have enough evidence for everybody else. So, and when I say they didn't have enough evidence for everybody else, meaning that Miss Janice, Cleveland, and Jarvis. Now, I'm going to give you the condition of them. Now, Miss Janice was poked twice, but they wasn't life-threatening pokes. She could have survived it. Cleveland, I believe, same thing. He didn't have he had non-life-threatening pokes. Jarvis, now even though he was the surviving person, he suffered, I want to say, 95% burn. He had to learn how to walk again, eat again. He had to learn everything. He was just almost, I want to say, of vegetables, almost. He had to relearn everything, and I still don't know, like, if he ever came back from that or not, because he had to go to some sort of healthcare facility to be taken care of. And like I said, Sayana, aka Yanni was on a sofa, and she was untouched, but everybody's died of smoke inhalation. Cynthia is the only one who would have passed away from the poking. So, that's where he got picked up at. That's the reason why he got life in prison. Because, yeah, that's why. I mean, that's why he got picked up by the feds and got life in prison. So, in conclusion to it all, like knowing him coming up from little kids in the same neighborhood, one street over, he was just this chill type of dude. Like he was. I never knew people snapped until this situation. I never knew people. He completely snapped and went into, like the news article said, a rampage. He went into a rampage, and it's just crazy. This has been so traumatic in my life. Like I can't, like I deal with domestic violence situations so different. Like I separate myself from that. Like I can't even deal with people that have domestic violence issues in their life. It's just too traumatic for me. Like it triggers me in no ways people can imagine. I automatically think bad.